Welcome to the Lokar Car Show. I'm Sam Adavi coming to you this week from the Lokar Center in beautiful Pigeon Forge, Tennessee at the 4th Annual Grand National F-100 Show. Welcome to the Lokar Car Show. This is gonna be one awesome car.
And I said, it doesn't even run yet. And look at it now, it's amazing.
The F-100 show has always been about the 1953 to 1956 Ford truck, but it's just expanded over the years. Now we've got included in this all the way up to 1987 and all the way back to 1948, called the early Fords. Now, even though there are 7 classes, the emphasis will always be on the 53 to 56. You can consider them the 32 to 34 Ford of the classic truck world. Bill, I love your truck. The fact that it's got a car front end and it's a convertible, this is a rare one. Tell me about your truck.
It's a lot of fun to drive, and we had it at the World of Wheels, and it won the first place in its class.
What year is the front end?
The front end is a 39 Ford car, and the truck itself is a 39 Ford truck.
And then you went ahead and you put an aftermarket chassis under it.
Aftermarket chassis.
And then the top was completely custom built.
And cut down and custom built. Yep.
How many inches did you cut it down?
6 inches.
I love the fact they put the mounting points and incorporated those turn wheels in there, and at the same time they put brackets in the bed to keep it down.
That way you don't lose it. Yeah.
Now that water system, the drains that he incorporated in there to keep everything safe and dry. That is genius, man.
Technique, yep.
And all the redundancies that he put into the cab of the truck, giving you a manual override for the door handle along with electric.
Yep.
He really thinks things through, you know? What kind of powertrain does it have in it?
It's got a 305 Chevrolet with a 350 turbo and a 9-inch Ford rear end.
Wow, it's got everything that you need to go cruising on the road.
Oh yeah, it'll run 65, 70 down the road like nothing.
Check this out, 1952 Mercury truck here in the States. I didn't even know it existed until Ken told me the story behind these trucks. This is a very cool truck, Ken. Where'd you find it?
Found it on eBay.
Right.
We bid on it, we bought it out of Canada.
So is this a truck that would normally be in Canada?
Yes.
And what years did they get these trucks?
I believe it was roughly 47 through 67.
And we never got a Mercury truck in the States.
No, sir. Good bones, I guess you could say, but it had some rust. I fixed that. Fenders and stuff have all been painted, but all this is all original patina on here.
That's incredible being a Canadian truck, and as old as it is, to just have the rust over the wheels. And the payload is 2,000 pounds.
2,000 pounds.
Truck. You have to buy a 1-ton truck today to get the same payload. Now, did you restore the truck itself, as in the powertrain's all original?
No, it's all original, but it is all rebuilt.
Yeah, and you rebuilt it yourself, or did you have it done?
Had it done.
Now, what about the interior?
The interior, I did myself. I put a Ranger seat in it. The headliner is all new. I polished up all the stainless on it, the windshield, the side stainless.
Well, even with the emblems on the side of the hood, like this, it says Mercury. Now, the door sills, you have to do a Ford door sill because when you change the vinyl, you have to put Ford sills in.
Right, I didn't have time to find a Mercury one.
Travis has a really cool nickname for his 63 Ford pickup called the King Ranch, and we're gonna let him tell you why he named it that.
We made a truck that we felt like that Ford should have made in '63. Galaxy XL interior theme with the bucket seats, console, speaker grill, pedals, original column with XL trim.
Done so nice you could never tell it was even from a Galaxy. It's incredible.
I appreciate it. And we won the Yellow Rose All Ford Car Show in Fort Worth, Texas, and beat the Riddler Award winner with a lot cheaper interior. So we're kind of proud of that, but we just feel like that the interior is always going to be in style.
Well, you know, looking at this truck from the outside, it looks so stock, right? But then I look up under the hood and I see the 32-valve, 4.6-liter twin-cam Cobra engine under there that you took from a Mark 8.
We took the automatic overdrive transmission and we used the Lincoln Mark 8 independent rear suspension.
The whole subframe.
Converted it to coil springs.
And the front suspension's from a Crown Vic.
Crown Vic.
Not just the suspension though, the whole front subframe's from the Crown Vic. That better ride, just like you said, a King Ranch Galaxy.
It does, it really does.
Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. It's time for the Lokar Lowdown with Kevin Ford.
In our LS Classic series, we offer a really nice front serpentine drive setup. If you've got an old muscle car and you want to maintain that look with your modern LS engine, you need to take a look at what we have to offer. We've got complete kits from AC, alternator, power steering, to alternator only, AC, and power steering. However you want to run it, we've got a kit that'll work for you. These are bolt-on. They utilize a factory tensioner, so you know the belt's at the right tension. If you wanted to start out with alternator only and then add something later, you don't have to start over. We can help you out and get you the parts that you need to upgrade that kit. Take a look at lokar.com and look at our whole lineup of LS Classic parts.
The Great Smoky Mountains are a beautiful mountain range running along northeast Tennessee to the Carolina borders. They are the base of the Appalachian Mountains, and they form a part of the Blue Ridge Province. Check out all the attractions at Pigeon Forge. With so many things to do here, it's no wonder it's one of the best family vacation destinations. There are so many attractions with favorites like Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies, water parks, Wonderworks, there is mini golfing and go-kart tracks. There are also outdoor activities like rafting the river, hiking the Smokies, and there are zip lines. But don't forget the F-100 show. Coming to a show like this, the F-100 show, with lots of trucks, all pretty much modified, it's nice to see what they started out as. And Tommy's got a 77 fully restored truck that he did himself. He's owned for 30 years. Tell me about your truck.
It's a 77 F-100 Ranger XLT. It's 302 automatic, has dealer installed air. It's Wimbledon white with a red interior.
And you did this all yourself, frame off, bumper to bumper.
Everything but the seat.
And you even did the paint work.
Yes.
That's rare to hear from someone who built their own truck.
First vehicle I ever painted in my life. I thought I'd give it a shot.
Being that it's 20 years old, it looks like you just painted it recently.
Thank you.
Now, what about the restoration, the powertrain, the transmission, and everything else? What'd you do there?
It had 57,000 when I bought it, and it's got 105,000 on it now.
Not bad. You used to drive this thing daily, right?
Every day.
And then one day you got a dent in the door and you decided you were going to fix it?
Yep.
You
I
really
got mad,
fixed
and
it.
first thing I knew, I had it blew apart, and I said, I'm just going to make a show truck out of it.
To see an all-original truck, to see what they came with from the factory, like you said, this is something that you would purchase if you were to order it from the factory back in '77.
That's the way I would have ordered one if I'd have ordered.
Today, every car comes with AC.
Yeah.
So, you know, back in the day, you had to purchase the air at the dealership and then get it installed. Ronald's 1977 Ford truck reminds me of Bigfoot. Look at it. It's even got a diesel swap. This thing is awesome.
Well, thank you. It's been long hours and hard work and headache to get us to there.
Now tell me about this engine swap. What you got in there?
So it's a donated 6.0 liter from a 2007 F550. We took the engine, transmission, transfer case, the wiring harness, the pedal, all of the components necessary to make it run and drive. Made it safer, made it bulletproof with the help of Warren Diesel. They did a great job with the wiring harness and some programming tunes for us.
Very clean job under there.
The guys that did the install at Williams and Ebling Inc. did a wonderful job.
And normally you would see an air-to-air intercooler on diesel trucks, but Ronald ran out of room. They did a really good job installing an air-to-water intercooler system on this.
So the interior, the seats, the console up front, and the two captain's chairs were donated from an 05 Ford Excursion, Eddie Bauer. And then I had to get a F250 rear bench, and then we went with black carpet inside to kind of change it up. My upholstery guy also made some custom door panels for it to kind of give it a little new, modern.
The roof really sets it
He
off.
knocked it out with the overhead. I like a little bit of old school, new school.
Yeah.
I still like the way the Bigfoot was back in the day when he first came out, and so that's kind of what I was after.
We have to go to a quick break. We'll be right back with more of the Lokar Car Show.
I'm here with Joe Carpenter, and he is the coordinator of the Grand National F-100 show. This is the 4th annual, and Joe, I can tell already this show completely doubled from last year when I was here.
We were expecting a larger show, but this really blew us away. This year we had 50 trucks inside. We were prepared for them. Everybody enjoyed the swap meet, enjoyed the show trucks outside, and the ones that were inside.
You had huge swap meets, lots of parts. People came from Wyoming, Lake Tahoe, far off places to be over here in Tennessee.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That says a lot for your show, considering they would come so far to come to the show.
Very unique. It's for classic Ford truck only, and that's actually the draw. That's why people want to come to this truck show. They come and they stay for 3 days. And it's just a wonderful thing.
And it's a beautiful town to come to a car show at. You know, they really cater to the people that come to this town, who come to these venues and do the car show. It's a great place to be. The strip on the street.
Yes,
It's
every
like
restaurant.
Every restaurant's like a car show outside the car show.
People have told me this is not only the first truck show they've been to, it's the first car show that they brought their vehicle to. So they're very excited, and we're definitely growing, and that's what we want to do. We want everybody to get out. Everybody's been cooped up so long, and this really turned out to be successful. This was wonderful.
So this is a 1982.
82 model.
82, and this is the last generation that is covered here, shown at the Grand National F-100.
Yeah, that's my understanding. Up through 96.
Now you said this was an inline 6 to begin with?
And a little inline 6, torquey motor, a little 3-speed in the floor.
You converted to automatic?
Yeah, it's a C6.
You got a 460 big block with a hot cam in it.
Right, yeah, pretty nice cam.
What kind of power do you think you put down?
Boy, how would I know? I haven't dynoed it.
I love the light bedwood with the black accent. This was pretty much a murder truck.
It was a choice of just scrapping it or trying to make something out of it. And it was just going to be a bed off, body on paint job. A good friend of mine down in Noonan was just going to paint it, and then another friend offered the 460 because it's all painted out, you know, monochromatic with the bumper and the grill and everything. It looks
very reminiscent of the early 90s Lightning with the 5.8 liter in it.
Right, so yeah, not a Lightning truck, but I always loved that look. I decided why not, let's go ahead.
Well, you've made a Lightning looking truck with the step side in the back and a big motor, so it's pretty much better than a Lightning.
Yeah.
I love the monocolor, all black from head to toe, and the interior is all black. That is a nice touch.
Yeah.
Randy, this 37 has a lot of nice little details that you normally wouldn't notice unless you really came up to the truck and saw it. Tell me about some of those details.
First of all of it is all steel fenders and running boards. There's no fiberglass on it or anything. All the sheet metal is original sheet metal except the bed and top of the hood. I like the look of the 33, 34 car. Fenders used to come straight across on them, cut the arch to where it looked like a 33, 34 car front end.
Very nice job.
Wood is African sapele, and I found it online. It came out of a sawmill in Ohio. It was in the rough cut stages whenever we found it. And it's just old gray rough cut wood, and then we planed it, and it don't have any stain or anything on it. We bought 4 ostrich hides, and it took all 4 of them to do the interior with, and we mirrored where it comes across the belly of the ostrich to where it gets to the full quill on the back.
And the accent is what?
That's a Kenya bison. It's a bison hide.
You know, Keith, there are a lot of neat original features on your truck, but I think my favorite one is going to be the access panel in the bed that you guys created to get to the fuel tank. Now that takes away from the gas cap interrupting the nice flow you got back here with the all black wood. That was a nice feature.
Exactly. I see a lot of ideas on a lot of different trucks with the bedwood. I wasn't crazy about the filler neck being exposed. The accessories under the hood, even though it looks very simple, a lot of thought went into it. A lot of Lokar accessories, the Lokar dipstick, the Lokar transmission fill. They do an amazing job.
They make the engine swaps possible in any make and model vehicle you have with any engine.
Picture in the back above it is actually my father's gas station. That was the whole inspiration behind the truck. As a kid, I remember going to my dad's body shop on days where the schools would have field trips, I would get to go with him, and he would crush cars for the day.
There's nothing funner than crushing cars as a
Oh
young
man,
boy,
I'm
huh?
telling you what, it's an amazing experience when you're 7, 8 years old.
That's an original photo from the family.
It is. It's an actual original Polaroid. I had my brother do the laser etching on a piece of acrylic, and then we backlit it.
Stay tuned for more of the Lokar Car Show.
Welcome back to the Lokar Car Show. You guys want Ford parts? This is definitely the place to come check out. Here in Vendor Row, checking out some of the parts for sale for your F-100 truck.
The ultimate parkway cruise through the Smokies from Pigeon Forge to Gatlinburg. Shop the greatest selection of new and original F-100 parts ever. Over the past several years, F-100 enthusiasts have looked for a hotel-based show in Pigeon Forge. And that's what the Grand National F-100 Ford Show is all about. 3 days of trucks, vendors, and giveaways at the LeConte Center.
All the way from Lake Tahoe, we got Buck with his 53 F-100 built for your wife. Tell me about the truck,
Built
Buck.
for my wife. Well, it's a 53, which is the year she was born. She had a stroke that left her paralyzed, so she asked me to build her a truck. I found this 53 alongside the freeway. Actually, my daughter found it. Kind of a rust bucket when we got it. Put an original 71 429 Covajet engine in here.
That's cool.
Which is a monster engine.
Now,
And,
why'd you call it the DNA?
We called it the DNA truck because there's so many parts to this truck that aren't 53. There's the engine, there's the Lexus seats, there's the center console out of a Toyota Highlander.
Which is very cool. You did a great job with that.
Thank you. The color's from a BMW. It's a Mediterranean metallic blue.
Yep.
Then we put a Ford 9-inch rear end in it with the 4-link system with coilover springs.
But the coolest part is what you did with the bedwood and the leftover paint you had.
Yeah, the leftover paint, took and mixed it with some paint thinner, made a stain out of it, put the stain on the wood, and then covered it with clear. And the airbrushing inside.
Yes.
I got to give credit to Tom Youngblood and to Hatchby. I think he's the best airbrush guy in the country.
I thought that was vinyl overlay. I had no idea that wood was airbrushed in.
A lot of people think that.
Jerry, I love your 56 panel truck,
Thank
but
you.
the biggest detail that caught my eye was the picnic table attached to it in the rear.
The man that built this truck built that too as an eye catcher and for tailgating at ball games.
It's perfect. Now, how do you travel with it? Where do you store it?
It breaks all into pieces. Barbecue goes on one side and the compartments in the back of the truck. About 10, 15 minutes to put it together and take it down.
In my opinion, that's the best feature of the truck, and the truck itself is beautiful.
It's a GM 502 Ramjet motor, and it's got more miles to the gallon than miles to the gallon. That's for darn sure.
Absolutely right.
Because it's a monster engine, it's got monster hands holding on to that engine to keep it in there. We have Hurst slapstick shifters overhead.
On the roof, yeah.
On the roof.
And you have to run the cables down through the side
Down
of the
through
cabin
the side of the doors
transmission.
to be built. The original owner built this in 2006. He showed it on the World of Wheels circuits to advertise for his business. And we tracked him down, and he has become a very dear friend over the last year that we've had it.
Yeah.
And he actually came down and spent the weekend with us last week so he could spend some time with his boy again. Yeah.
To think that this thing is 15 years old and looks like it was built yesterday, that's a very nice touch.
Thank you.
Eddie, I love your Pro Street look on the 62 Ford truck. Tell me about it.
It's my first build. I had help with the paint and body and help with the interior, but had a few friends around the block come and help me from time to time.
I love the acrylic bed. That really caught my eye.
Yes, I stole that from the internet, basically built it in a day and put it in.
And tell me about the interior. You got a lot of work in those seats, don't you?
Ed Schreck out of Delane, Florida did the interior. There's 115 pieces of wood. I bought a set of seats, took them to him, completely rebuilt them, shrunk them in size to make them fit the truck.
He did a good job. The interior of this truck being all modern with the center console, stereo, the vintage air, the pedals.
I've driven the truck 700 miles since it's been done last spring.
Very nice. Now you did all the actuation on the front hood and the rears yourself?
Yeah, got 4 motor controllers behind the seat.
What kind of engine's under there?
It's a 460 stroke to 501. It's got a true solid lift cam. It also has a Pete Jackson gear drive and a Phytech fuel.
Twin throttle bodies on the
Twin throttle
Phytech.
body.
Looks like a couple of carburetors, but he's got the easeability and the modern drivability of fuel injection. Makes it nice.
We got the throttle cable, we've got the door handles, we've got the emergency brake lines, and also the throttle linkages are Lokar.
It's really cool incorporating the new modern stuff like the electric winch brake that pulls on the cables for the e-brake on an old truck like this being a 62. That's a nice touch.
Another successful weekend here at the Grand National F-100 show from the Lokar Center. Beautiful weather, double the attendance this year. Make sure you guys come check out this show next season. As I take the scenic route through the Great Smoky Mountains, that's a wrap here at the Lokar Center in Pigeon Forge. Join us next week as we head to the Pontiacs in Pigeon Forge.